What up? What up? What up, guys? Hey, I had to speed into this episode. Frank's giving out good grades. Things are going crazy. Anthony's here with me. Frank's here. What up, guys?
What's
What
up?
up? What up?
Hey, Get Right Fantasy Network. We're wearing hoodies. We're wearing collared shirts. It's going crazy today. We're doing the 12-team, 1 QB PPR redraft. Hey, this is not our East Coast one, right?
No,
Whatever.
this is our PM.
Hit the intro. You guys got to watch the intro. Thanks, Fire.
You guys are wearing like sweatshirts and like colored shirts. Like
Cold over
I'm
here,
literally
dude. I'm
have
in
my
Vegas.
AC on. I'm like, it's like
windy over here.
110.
So you got to roll your sleeves up a little bit.
Oh, see, look at that.
It's not easy.
Oh man, I'm
Hey.
hot over here in Palm Springs, guys.
Hey, I hope you guys liked and subscribed. You see where I'm at? I'm in Vegas again. I might change that up. I don't know. Hey, it could happen. I'd like to relocate. So
He's always on the move.
again, Get Right Fantasy Network. Appreciate everybody for being here. I'm ready to jump right into it, guys. I just traveled somewhere. All right. Okay. Hey,
Let's do it.
I did this just for my boy, Dim Boys, Dallas Cowboys, for life. Off the name A+ Draft. Right?
Just like that,
Hey,
huh?
tell us why you give him an A+, Ant.
Well, I'll tell him why I gave him a B.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I'll tell you why I gave him a B.
Did you see his name?
I don't look at the names. I look at the players. That's
Yeah, I'm not even
that's,
paying attention. Who
that's what I got to
top.
do. So sorry about that. No, but shout out to Dim Boys, one of the OGs here at Get Right. I gave him a B, man. Solid picks outside of Christian McCaffrey and Calvin Ridley. He's kind of lacking kind of star power to me. As far as names, it's really kind of a real blue collar, real roll your sleeves up and get to work kind of team, which is it's kind of like a get right team. But just because of that lack of star power to me, obviously Russell Wilson's good there in the 6th. I love Damian Harris as an RB4. Get Irv Smith late, but overall, I give him a B. I hold him a high standard. He's been with us for a long time.
Frank, help us out.
Well, I was right there with him with the B. Unfortunately, as he mentioned, we hold him to a higher standard. I think it just it's a solid team, though. Don't get it wrong. I mean, you got 2 RB, two wide receivers. Waits to the 5th round to get his quarterback and Russell Wilson.
Wasted,
man. But just I think he could have did more with just Smith and Justin Fields. The Chicago could be starting, could not be starting. It's fodder at that point because it's not a 2 QB league. So really, you almost don't even need that guy at this point.
I don't think Russell Wilson in the 6th round is a horrible pick, but what do I know? Anthony, I say this guy's name wrong every time.
It's a horrible pick.
Knee?
You got it. Nailed it.
Hey, first time ever. Knee. Again, Packers. You guys stop using logos. If you want to get a fair grade for me, change your fantasy names. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, I like his draft. I mean, I think he's got people in the right positions. It looks a lot like something I would do and something I want to do. I would change up a few guys. Obviously, he went really wide receiver heavy. What do you guys think? What are we giving him? Frank, what'd you give him?
I give him a B-. Just the running back depth is not there where you need it at. He did go wide receiver heavy, and maybe that's what he's going to trade for. But I mean, the 2 starters are good. Josh Allen, when he took him, I thought was a little early. But and then he also took Deshaun later on. So how I feel about that. He's lucky he didn't even get a D on this one. So still a C. B. I'm sorry, B minus. B minus. I was what I give him. Sorry, I have to go back to look at my thing here. But
He's
I mean,
been
Deshaun
Deshaun
Watson,
and
I
just
don't really care for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he automatically went there.
So funny.
No, that's good.
And
Yeah, I got my boy here at knee at a B plus. I think the big thing, of course, is that running back depth behind the starters that is lacking. I think he does have a really strong wide receiver core, which gives him those trade assets to where he could fix his running back depth situation. I really don't mind grabbing Watson in that spot as in a one QB league where he got him. I think if he does end up playing this year, that could be a huge asset for his team, and could get him that RB3 that he kind of needs. So overall, kind of give him a B plus.
hey, that's not bad. So with this guy, if he's in our listener league or wherever he's at, we know he's taking Saquon. I don't care if he's. I think he's shown from first pick to 12th pick, he's taking Saquon, no matter what. I'll get into that in another episode. NYG guy, 95. Again, I hate saying this. I feel like I'm getting salty too. I like his team. I mean, he went, hey, when you go 3 running backs off the board to jump it off, you already know you caught all of our attention.
Absolutely.
Got pretty good receivers. Frank spoke badly about Tyler Lockett, but I remember at least 1 4-touchdown game last year. So,
And that's all he had last year. I literally traded for
I think he had 2 of them.
He sucked the rest of the freaking year. Fuck that guy.
He had at least another 3-touchdown game.
He's on my don't touch anymore list right now already. He got there quick.
Stamp
okay. So what'd you give him, Frank?
It's because Frank traded for him last year.
It's great. I give him a solid B. I honestly, it's probably close to an A. I do like the structure of the team. 3 running backs, 2 wide receivers. I don't like Aaron Rodgers anymore, but I mean, where he's taking him, I guess I would have waited a long time to take Aaron Rodgers, personally, because I don't think he's going to have the season that other people. I think the regression is greater. He could have got Matthew Stafford or somebody else a little later, or at that position or whatever. I don't know.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Really. But I like that he took Connor later, Philip Lindsay, things like that. Just Aaron Rodgers, just to me, is the one that just throws me off. But it's solid team overall. So it's B plus even. I'll maybe move it up just under an A.
Just cause.
There you go.
He's got a soft side.
Hey, I got you, NYG guy. You've been watching a long time. You know what we're looking for. I'll throw him that A, first A of the draft. 3 solid. He has 3 solid RB1s in my eyes. Decent wide receivers, I think, that can produce. To me, Cousins backing up Rodgers, just in regards to that whole situation, I think that's a perfect, guy that you could throw in, depending on how that works out. And I really like his lotto tickets. We're all about, getting those lotto tickets late in the draft. That could potentially be, kind of a next big thing, or someone that could have a couple good weeks that you could trade off in St. Brown and Mooney. Yep. And to me, the only bad pick he made was Brandon Cooks. I would have preferred to take Rashad Bateman in that spot instead, or even like a Michael Pittman. I like their upside a little better than what's going on there in Houston. I just think they're going to be a bad team this year. Just very kind of dysfunctional franchise at this point. Kind of hate to say that. I'm just a random guy saying a billion-dollar organization is dysfunctional, but to say the least, they kind of are at this point. The only thing I'd expect them to do next is hire Adam Gase. I mean, that's the only other thing that they could do to really just throw everything down the drain there. But and that when it comes to that, I don't want any players from Houston. Just because I don't want.
Is this an anti-Houston post or something? Or are we not going to talk about?
I'm not taking any Houston players.
He does have high potential on his team. He also has his top 3 players are coming off an injury. I don't know if they've ever played a full season. When you look at the potential of what they have, for sure, he's got it. I like Mixon, right? We know that, but like he took three very, very high risk players jumping off the board. Right?
No, for sure. Each one of them, you said it. They're all coming off injuries from last season, and they seem to be injury prone. Both Barkley and Carson have all consistently had an injury or three happen all the time to them. So,
Hey, fantasy top gunner. Frank, is this too early for you getting a tight end?
you know, I don't like them that early. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of the tight end that early, but these guys are like looking at them as top wide receivers. That's your wide receiver pick there. I would just take a wide receiver in that case. You know what I mean? Like honestly, I would just feel more comfortable with that. Just Kittle and Kelsey are the guys that you take early, and Waller. So, I would have waited for Waller or something like that in the next round and take a top wide receiver. Taking two running backs, two wide receivers, then your tight end. Then it looked a little better to me, just personally. But overall, I mean, look at the team; it's pretty solid. You got Etienne as well there. Leonard Fournette. He got a lot of running back depth, wide receivers, and Evans and Juju's that's where he drops off. But he waited for his quarterbacks and Jalen Hurts, but I think he still stole it with Matt Ryan. I think that's the best pick of the draft, or where he took Natty Ice.
Yeah.
And because of that, that's why I gave him an A.
There you go. Right there with you. Give him an A as well. And shout out to Josh. I actually met him through Twitter. He's actually does film and data analytics for playerprofiler.com. Give him an A there. As far as his team goes, very solid starting running backs. I think ETN is the running back 3 to have this year. Very legit wide receivers in Evans. His wide receiver 2 through 4, they're kind of more blue collar than kind of sexy, but for the most part, yeah, and for the most part, they're gonna roll their sleeves up, as we say, and get the job done. So it's an A draft. He knows what he's doing.
Hey, you love to see it. This draft, I mean, it's got some really strong points. Falamos,
Return drafter, our international
he's the international
viewer. Yeah, so Falamos, shout out. His second draft with us here. Last draft, it was his first time doing a super flex. And this is what we want. We want people coming out, expanding their game. And so he got in the super flex last time. This is a more, familiar draft for him, doing a standard 1 QB league. I think he kind of redeemed himself. I gave him a B. To me, it's kind of even on the border of A minus, B plus, A minus. I think if Mike Davis is his RB3 and Moss is his RB4, I think that works out a little better. So, just taking a running back a little earlier instead of those three receivers. But I kind of like his lotto tickets with Chase and Sermon and Rodgers down there in Green Bay. Again, that Rodgers to Rodgers connection could work out as the wide receiver 2 over there. So, and again, he gets Wentz.
No, but that's a good point. Hey, so we wanted to, I wanted to bring this up. You're going to see 2 A Rodgers from Green Bay. So just make sure you're picking the right one, right? So you're going to have to check the position just so you're making sure. Like, I feel like he just got to steal, like, oh man, I'm picking up Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? Hey, who knows?
Hey, so, those used to happen a lot with the real live drafts when you had the stickers, because if you didn't know what the color code was,
or Duke Johnson, and it's like, oh, idiot, you just picked the wrong.
You picked the wrong guy. Yeah, you'd have to know.
Either one you wanted to pick, but hey.
Oh, and then they got on the same team, so then it was all even worse.
Even worse, yeah. It's like
David Johnson.
There's 2 Michael Carters, right? So you got to be careful. There's certain things like that's like deep into it, but
Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, not the receiver.
Exactly. Hey, so stuff like that happens. You got to pay attention. So my favorite thing of these draft review shows is tossing out F minuses. And hey, I'm gonna skip it. We're not even gonna talk about this. Seems just trash, like not worth their time. So, Frank, we move on to T Give 23. Hey,
Did
what'd
I
you give
even
him?
give Falamos a B? All right, I'll just say I got to give him a B. I don't know if I even said that. But
Oh, did you?
Anthony's team 6 here. I'm not gonna skip it because that's an A team.
Let's go, Frank. Preach.
You know, he did the
Tell 'em.
classic running back, right receiver, comes back with some more running backs, doesn't take a quarterback till late, which we love to do. And it takes Tom Brady and Ryan Tannehill solid QBs late. The
What?
right receiving core and the running back core are solid. The only thing
You
I would
say
give him a
solid?
little knock on is tight end, but I mean at this point it doesn't even matter because like everybody else is so solid that you know Jonathan Smith will do the job, or he could trade for somebody to get a good decent tight end at some point. So I give him a solid A on that. That's what you're
Preach,
supposed to be
Frankie.
doing right here.
Preach him. Tell him.
So T give 23?
Let's move on.
Moving on to T give 23, then I give him
You're
a
out of
solid C.
Hey, just like
Just following
just like
up
Anthony's
behind that,
average.
you know, Tyreek Hill, Brown here getting wide receivers, but then he did like the running backs are weak, and Edmonds, you know, is just RB2, and then where's his RB3 at? Hubbard is a hopeful RB3. I think that's where he's weak at. You got the wide receivers, you got the quarterback. I don't really care for Noah Fant there, but again, he might be a breakout right there, and he could be his top wide receiver. But he went so wide receiver heavy later on that it's just like ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's where he could have got some more running back depth. I think that's why he kind of missed the mark a little bit.
Hey, Andy's got a very, very young team. Ant, what do you
Oh,
think?
yeah.
What'd you give him?
Man, I wanted to do everything I could to give him a B minus, but I think I had to land on a C plus at best, just because a lot of the stuff Frank just said, the running backs just kind of scare me. I don't mind Edwards as an RB2, but as an RB1, we kind of saw what happened last year. And, but he does have, I think, to me, 3, top 12, top 15 wide receivers
Yeah.
with Hill, Brown, and CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
And to me, he has the top 2 receivers in the league right now with the unknown with Adams. So that kind of could make up for it. And then, of course, Kyler Murray, top 3 quarterback. So it's that's why I'm like, it to me, it's hard to go into that C range just because those 3 guys could easily win him weeks just on their own. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm going to go back up to my B minus that I wanted to give him. So T give 23, you're going to get a B minus, man. Those 3 guys on their own can win you a week. They could each score,
It's going low on RB, but very high on the wide receivers. You've done that before, and even taken 5 wide receivers off the bat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You remember that draft. You have to do a lot of trading, but it can work out. You just have to put some work into it.
So we gave NYG guy 95 good grade because he went running backs early and often, like we always talk about. KJ Flint 20.
Does the same thing, right?
Same setup, dude. I gave him a B as well. I mean, that's a solid team. Honestly, maybe even moving up to an A, looking at Stafford and Darnold later on. I guess Darnold's really, I mean, I would take him or leave him. Bateman, I really like where he took him at, and even taking Jalen Rager.
Do we like
Murray.
Bateman?
Huh?
I love Bateman.
Yeah,
we like.
I like where he took him at. I think that's a good spot for him. I'm probably actually A minus. Just because I.
Wow, he's climbing up the ranks. Look at that.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs, I really don't care for, but I mean, still, the way it's drafted is what you're looking at. The structure of taking 3 RBs, two wide receivers, got his tight end, very high hopeful there, but he still ended up with 2 solid running QBs later on. I mean, Donald was up and coming last year; he was doing actually okay. At Stafford, we know he's been solid for year in, year out. So,
gotta love it.
I'm pretty close to you. I gave him a B plus, man. I think to me, in order for him to get an A, he would have had to take Miles Sanders there instead of Josh Jacobs as his RB3. I don't mind Josh Jacobs as my RB4 this year, but I won't take him any higher than that. Any higher than my 4th fourth drafted RB. Otherwise, I'm passing on him. So I like his receivers. Like the tight end. Like the quarterback. So B plus overall.
Hey, you love to see it. So we got another veteran hopping in. Mug Goats.
My
05.
goats.
Hey, a lot of Packer fans in this draft, which hey, you hate to see it.
You wouldn't think he's a Packers fan by who he drafted.
Dude, I love his team. I
I
really
know
do.
you would.
I feel like
I know
hey,
you would.
all the way down. I mean, I really like it. There would be a few changes in my opinion. Like, hey, solid freaking draft. Solid.
Because he got the triplets. I give him a B. I mean, you hate to see all those Dallas players, but where he drafted them is where they go. Just the fact that they're all on one team is the only thing that kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
you can kind of trade them off to split them up. And that's the good thing is they are going to have value. They're going to have assets, and they should be easily tradable. So I don't mind taking them. I don't mind kind of stacking them up like that. But again, if you get people that aren't going to trade for them, it's a tough thing having quarterback.
Yeah, I don't like
quarterback,
doing
and
that
receiver.
for sure.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before, where he's taken, 4 guys from Dallas, 3 guys from Baltimore, what it was, and you're basically relying on 2 teams to do well for you, and that's just kind of rough. I don't know. I just don't like putting all my eggs in the basket like that. I do like the players that he's got, but what if Dallas has a bad game and then you're definitely having a bad game? You know what I mean? Like that's the whole deal. You know what I mean? Like literally, you got Elliott, Cooper, and Prescott, and if they have a bad game, you're definitely having a bad game. You're relying on that, and then you're taking Andrews as well as who's it? Brown and Gus Edwards, and even backs up with Tony Pollard. It's just so many chips in 2 teams. It's rough.
Hey, and that's why we call it gambling, boys. So I see it from another perspective where, I mean, if you could just chalk one week and you're like, hey, I'm for sure going to lose this week, and I'm not going through and losing a quarterback one week, running back next week, wide receiver next week to bye weeks. It's just a different strategy. So it could work out in your favor. It could backfire and, really destroy you, but only time will tell, right?
Diversify your portfolio is all I have
Exactly. Buy Doge. Sorry. A little crypto plug right there, had to.
There you go.
Frank, you told me how much you hated Marvlas. As a person, as a team. Yeah.
Little Marvlas. I like the team, honestly. Stephon Diggs, Akers, Mahomes. He's the guy that broke the seal of Mahomes in the 3rd round.
Steal, right?
If you wait on it, he waited like I think the right time. Usually he's
It's a
going
good spot.
round, or end of round 1, beginning of round 2, and it'll probably move up later on in real drafts. He's not going to fall that far, I don't think. So I thought that was a good taking him. Hawkinson is where I think he messed up on, and that's why I gave him a B because of that, because he should have just got another wide receiver at that point or another running back, and could have waited on that specifically that tight end. I don't think anybody was going to take him. Could have still got Kyle Pitts or Mark Andrews or some of these other guys, or even Logan Thomas.
Yeah.
And waited on baby Gronk there. And I think that's what kind of threw off the rest of his draft. I do like the picks and Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, but again, he's taken two wide receivers of the same team. So those are the reasons why he ended up with a B.
Yeah, and kind of for those reasons is why I had to bump it down to a B minus. I don't like Gaskins as your RB2. I like him more as an RB3 for me. Overall, I mean, I think his starters are pretty solid, so I think he'd kind of be okay. But like you said, once you kind of draft that tight end that early, and again, he's not like a difference maker like a Kelsey.
Yeah, he's
or
not.
Waller,
he's not that.
where you can kind of justify that a little bit as your wide receiver 1. You're taking a Hawkinson, and we don't know how that's going to be with Goff this year. It's not Stafford throwing to him anymore. And then, like you said, 2 wide receivers off the same team. But again, one of those guys partner with Diggs is, pretty nice. But again, I had to go a little bit lower at a B minus. So he would definitely need to do some trades and stuff to round out this team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, and so I know we talked about it, but that's one of the shows we're going to be doing. We're going to do waiver wire pickups. We'll do free agents that are still out there after the draft, but it's so different coming from multi-quarterback leagues to this. So that's why we're here, guys. We're jumping to our boy Ethan Calbeck. Sure, Patriot fan.
24.
What do you guys think?
Where you at,
What'd
Frank?
you give him?
Oh, me first? All right, I'll go with the B
Yeah.
minus. I got B minus on him. I think to me, again, you guys
B
are kind of seeing it.
minus?
You guys are kind of seeing a theme with me. There's certain guys I like more as RB3s versus RB2s. And to me, Rojo is one of those guys. I think he's a fantastic RB3, but I wouldn't want to rely on him as my RB2. And again, this is kind of what happens when you take Kelsey early. Like, I don't mind it, but that's kind of what you have to be willing to sacrifice. So you are going to make up those points. You just kind of have to look at Kelsey as your RB2 as far as producing those kind of points for your team each week. And now you're just considering Rojo as your tight end. And when you kind of look at that, to me, that's like a little advantage. So that's what keeps him in the B range for me. But it is, B minus because of those things.
You dropped to a C range for me because of that, what you just said. I wouldn't take Kelsey that early. But then again, some people like him. And like you're saying, he's wide receiver 1, type numbers or whatever. And now you're looking at him as their RB2 to replace Rojo. Or Rojo could have an excellent season. But, I mean, it's just the depth on the running backs with Williams and Kelly after that is just not that good. What are you going to do on the bye week? So you're going to start these guys, I do like Lamar Jackson where he took him at. And, but I just give him a C. It just, I just think that the running back depth, we just prefer more running backs.
Heavy.
Just running backs.
Early and
running
often.
backs.
Yeah,
if you watch our show, you already know. Hey, but he is very close. So, like, you change that Rojo pick, and, like, he's got some solid picks in there going all the way down. So, very minor tweaks. And it happens, like, we're drafting from different positions every week. So it's random. So, like, the more experience you get and you're drafting against people that know football, we're watching it. All these guys, like, if you have the Sleeper app alone, like, you're really deep into fantasy football. So this is very important. Like,
if you're drafting in May, if you're doing redraft mocks in May,
you're at 9:30 at night on a Friday.
At 9:30 at night on a Friday,
you're pretty into it. So, like, you're drafting against a lot of people that are very good, not only at fantasy football, they're dedicated, they're doing the research. Like, this is the best place you want to be. So if you get in a league and they're not on the same level, it's going to seem like a cakewalk for you. So
yeah, it's gonna be so funny.
Minor tweaks. Hey, and let's wrap it up. Mernsdorf,
returning drafter.
Hey, returner, and I know I feel bad. I missed one of his messages. He wanted to hop on another draft, so my apologies live on camera. Just for that, I'm giving you an A+.
Just for that.
Right? Hey, anybody else, right? 3 A+. Thanks for tuning in. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Frank, what'd you give him?
I went with the C again because, again, these top taking these tight ends high like that. He already had Hopkins and McLaurin. I would have took a running back there, and that's Robinson coming up late. You got Johnson, who's Nyheim Hines. Those are really weak backups or extra guys in the running back depth as far as I'm concerned. I do like where he took Joe Burrow, and I don't really care about Danny Jones or anything like that. But Mooney, I like to pick late, and Reynolds is okay. Just a C team. It's just average. It's nothing spectacular.
Wow, Anthony, do you have anything else to say about him?
I mean, I'm kind of right there. I give him a B-. I'm a little bit higher. Be a little bit nicer there to him as a return drafter here. But I'm kind of right there, kind of with what Frank was saying. It really doesn't wow me, but the team is solid. When you kind of look at it, and you really dive into it.
Did you guys notice that he has Jalen Ramsey's dad on his team?
I mean, Yeah, I mean, that is amazing in itself. So why don't you explain that a little more?
Hey, if you go to Mooney, sorry, I can't say it, guys. I'm from California. If you go to Mooney's, hey, Wikipedia page, the father of one, his one son's name is Jalen Ramsey. So, hey,
Damn.
they play what, week
Shots
1?
fired. So I think so.
That's straight
Shots
shots
fired.
fired for sure.
Shots fired.
We're
So
gonna
I
look at
like
that
it.
closely. We'll
I
see who
like it.
wins that matchup now, huh?
Go check it out. But yeah, so I'm right there at a B- with him. Like I said, when you take that tight end early, like Frank said, you kind of miss out on that running back depth. Like I said, I'm not touching anyone on Houston. I don't think Naeem Hines really going to produce, too much there in Indy, especially with the, Marlon Mack hype train starting to toot its little horn as we get closer to drafts.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, which might make his draft stock fall a little bit, which will be nice for those people trying to target Taylor a little later in the draft. But I'm not really scared of it. Again, PPR, it's not. Again, he's not too bad, but I think Taylor's gonna. At least he's being drafted like he's gonna be taking over that backfield. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But good draft,
Yeah.
man. Had a lot of fun.
Hey, I loved it. Frank, Anthony, thanks for being here, guys.
Friday night mocks. Where
Hey.
it's at.
We appreciate all you guys for tuning into these drafts. If you haven't yet or you want to get into it, hit us up on our Twitter. There's so many ways to get in touch with us, YouTube, all that. We appreciate everybody who took part in this. If you guys have questions, stuff like that, definitely let us know. Again, Frank, Anthony, we appreciate you guys for being here. You can roll your sleeves down. Hey, and if you're still watching and you haven't liked and subscribed, like, what the hell? Hey.
Do it already. It's right there.
Peace, guys.
We're out.